Hi ho ho, it's me, Paddington Bear. Back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast, and as always, I'm joined by Babby. We have another slam dunk episode. Some exciting things happened. And a couple exciting things happened. We actually had really good podcast timing, as
Did
always, because
doubly, I'd say.
doubly. Well, I know one of them. I don't know what the other one is.
It's the same thing. It just happened twice, technically.
I don't remember it happening twice, unless there's another thing that I did not watch.
Nah.
Okay, did they just drop it twice?
Yes, because someone leaked it the day before, so then they
Oh,
dropped it the day before.
okay, so that's what I was seeing. Okay, yeah, because the GTA 6 trailer dropped. It was supposed to come out this morning, but I saw it yesterday. So yeah, I did see some posts before, like because all of the gaming journalists that were like covering the announcement of the trailer were like the next GTA installment is getting a trailer, and it was like, notice how none of them are saying GTA 6.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh no, this is true. They're gonna do like a Half-Life thing, and it's like, no, it's not Half-Life 3, it's Half-Life Alex. You gotta
Get it
believe
right.
me, it's different. So so I was a little worried, but it is called GTA 6, and there was a trailer. Didn't really say anything, didn't give us any information, except it's in Vice City, which we already knew, and has two protagonists. I had to play siblings are dating. I think officially dating in the trailer. There's a scene where the girl's on top of him. I'm like, that would be a little weird if they were siblings, but I thought I remembered seeing somewhere that they
It's
were
Vice
siblings.
City.
It's Vice City.
Imagine like Rockstar just coming out with like a pro incest game.
That would be surprising.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Well, there is an incest couple in Red Dead 2.
Ah,
Yeah. It's just like one little shack you can find in the middle of the woods somewhere, and they like invite you in for a meal, but it turns out they're like cannibals, brother and sister, and they like are incestuous.
hate when that happens.
Yeah. But I don't think it's pro incest because they steal all your stuff, and then when you go back there, they want you to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Oh, this is off topic, but relation to that little encounter you can have, because they steal your stuff and then drop you in a pit of bodies, assume of other people they have killed, and you find out that they killed their mother. I guess because she disapproved of their relationship,
Mm.
and I think you have to kill the brother. For yeah, I don't know if you had a choice, but you can like lasso the sister and hog tie her, and have her ride on your horse, and then if you take her to that pit and just like drop her off in it, then she like starts crying, and because she's like, oh mama, no, I'm sorry. It's like implied that you just dropped her next to her dead mom's body while she's
Awesome.
hogtied. It's kind of brutal, but it's a little Easter egg, but it's cool. But that's unrelated to the news. Yes, GTA 6 is officially happening. We already knew it was happening because of all the leaked stuff that came out about it. We already pretty much knew everything about this trailer before it dropped because of all of the leaks and stuff.
But it exists.
It exists, and it's official. GTA 6 in Vice City, or Miami. Like, I guess comparable based on Miami, kind of like how Los Santos is Los Angeles, and what is it? Empire City is New York
New York.
in GTA 4, which I would like a new GTA game
Meatball.
in Empire City. Or if they should remaster GTA 4, but do
I
it
feel like they
better.
saw Spider-Man doing New York like 3 times, and they're like,
Oh,
let's cool it for a while.
that's true. That's true. I just like New York in video games. Maybe it's just because I'm a
Real.
fan of Spider-Man
I
games.
never want to go there, but I like it in video games.
I have been there and I did not like it.
Exactly.
Um,
You got to be built different to exist in New York.
yeah, it's very loud, and what they don't tell you is that it smells really bad
It does.
all the time. No matter where you are, it's an ever following stench. But yeah, that's something that Spider-Man never talks about. But he should. But yeah, so this one's in Miami. I guess it's a return to Vice City in the same way that Los Santos is a return to San Andreas. But yeah, I think it's like a Bonnie and Clyde thing where it's you got two main protagonists, and they're either dating or siblings. I don't know. The trailer's not
Oh.
clear. They're in the trailer for 2 shots, which is maybe speaking to the quality of this trailer. I think everybody really likes it and they say it's perfect because it's for GTA 6. But this trailer tells us next to nothing, and it just like establishes the atmosphere of the game, which is a GTA game, which
Which
is
people are still mad about for, well, I know why. But yeah,
yes, yeah, we can get into some of the controversies. I will say it's cool. They picked a Tom Petty song
they did.
for the trailer. And the Tom Petty estate was like, we were super happy when I don't remember what song is in the San Andreas radio. Like, we were really eager to put that in the game. So it's kind of cool to have Tom Petty's song in the trailer. And then the Rockstar thing said, like, yes, we love Tom Petty for Petty forever, whatever. It was kind of cool that I think it was a good pick. But if you have somehow not seen the trailer, it's basically just a bunch of like shots of like Miami life or Vice City life, I guess. There's like there's a gator being pulled by animal control. There's like a lady twerking in the bed of a truck, I think. There's like a
It's the
shot
most
of the
Miami
beach.
things you can think of.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Miami slash Florida,
Yeah.
which I do think that that is a good setting for a GTA game.
Oh yeah, it exemplifies all of GTA's best qualities.
Yes. So yeah,
Much like Los Angeles, but Los Angeles was a very different tone.
yes, which we can kind of get into because I think the gaming industry has changed a lot in the last 13 years. Has it been 13 or 10?
I'm
I don't remember when GTA 5
talking
came out.
console or PC version.
Oh, that's a good point, and that's something else we can talk about
Yeah.
because we're not sure if this is going to get a PC release.
We're not sure if it'll get a PC release at the same time. That's
Yes,
my question.
yes, that's
I
true.
know there will be one, but will it be,
Yes, yes.
you know,
I don't know. I don't know, and I'm assuming
I doubt it.
I doubt it. Yeah,
Because
because
just looking at every other Rockstar release.
they always do the. I think people have called it the PC sandbag, where people are going to get GTA 6 for I think it's just the next gen consoles, so PS5 and Xbox Series X or S. They're gonna get it for that console because, well, what are you gonna do? Not get the GTA game, the new one, GTA 6? But then when it eventually comes to PC, then everybody who has a PC is going to buy it again. So that they
Yep.
kind of get you that way. You're paying for the same game twice, and now you're paying $70 for the same game twice.
We have to remember how Rockstar works because they are very money hungry.
Yes, which is surprising
It
considering
is
they release
surprising
like
because they
one
make
game every 5 years.
no, yeah, and it's a great game most of the time too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. They have not missed in like the last 20 years. Like Max Payne, Red Dead, GTA, like some of the best gaming franchises. And Yeah, all of them have had. Well, no, I was gonna say all of them have had semi recent installments, but I guess Max Payne 3 was probably like 2011. So I don't even know. Is that semi recent? I guess it's
Man,
semi
that's
recent in like the
12
grand
years ago. That's
scheme of
crazy.
things.
Yeah.
It's like it's more recent than I
Modern
think.
gaming, I'd call it.
Yeah, yeah, it is because I think those were PS3 games. Red Dead 1 was a PS3 game. Uh, yeah, now we've just waited a long time for GTA 6. But I mean, I think wasn't the entire trilogy on PS2?
I think so.
3 Vice City and San Andreas? I think so. Um, yeah, I only have Vice City right now. I'm working on getting the collection. I don't even have GTA 4. That one's one of my favorites.
I don't even have the Ballad of Gay Tony yet.
No, I don't.
Come on.
I'm working on it.
Best DLC.
I have not played the Ballad of Gay Tony. It probably is the
I don't
best
think I have either.
name of any game.
It truly is.
Was it the? It's like Empire City. I don't even remember what like the initial thing is, but that's just the subtitle, isn't it? The Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah, it's like their first DLC pack or DLC story or whatever.
Yeah, which I think he is a character in GTA 4.
He is, yeah.
In the base game, but he gets his own story, and it is the best. Which I think that the Coen brothers ripped off for the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I'm just going to throw that
That's
out
how
there.
it goes in my head.
That's how it goes. I mean that they came out that order.
It's true. It's true.
It's definitely not an homage to some obscure Western B movie that the Coen
Oh yeah.
brothers are a fan of. It's
Now, did the new Hunger Games movie take inspiration from that?
ooh, the Ballad of
The Songbirds or
Songbirds.
whatever.
Yeah, that one definitely is ripping off the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah,
Obviously. A lot of crossover audience between the Hunger Games and
that's true.
GTA.
There actually is, but it's for a weird reason.
I don't know what that weird reason is.
Gay Tony, and then
Oh,
a Hunger Games movie that's also has a lot of musical elements to it.
oh, that's true. I
There's a
didn't think
certain
about
target
that.
audience for that.
Yeah, and I guess are they? Well, I guess they're both kind of satires.
In a way, yeah.
Hunger Games less so. I think GTA is more overtly a satire,
Mhm.
especially like GTA 5. Like that there is a lot of satirical elements in just the background of Los Santos, like all of the radio commercials and the billboards. Just like everything is over the top, making fun of stuff like that. And this trailer is kind of like that too. Just everything is cranked up to 11. But I don't, no gameplay. We get 2 shots of like an actual cutscene. I don't think we're going to see any of these shots of the trailer in the game at all. Which, maybe once the game comes out, then people are going to jump back to this podcast. That's never happened before, but I always anticipate that someone's going to find these old episodes and correct
Someone
us.
someday.
Yeah.
Whenever like one of us becomes wanted by the FBI and like an FBI agent has to watch like all 257 episodes or whatever.
I like that that's where your mind went and wasn't like got famous on YouTube or something.
No, that's never in the possibility for me.
Okay. But what is on the possibility is being on the FBI's most wanted list.
Yes.
Do you know something that I don't?
I can't say more.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm a little worried now, but let's continue our conversation on a video game. But yeah, I think I've seen we can, I guess, address some of the controversy. I have heard rumblings of the like GTA is woke now thing. I don't know
People
all
were
of the
making fun of that
details.
before the trailer even came out, and then that's exactly what happened, which is
Eh, Which
hilarious.
is weird. I didn't even notice anything like overtly woke about it, except there's
There
just a
was
female
black people in
protagonist.
it.
Yeah, it's like the South, you know?
Yeah. It's just when you go to the cesspool of Twitter, you don't need to like the expectations for human decency are so far out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've seen a million, not a lot, not a million, but there's a couple tweets floating around that's just like overtly like racist because that's how you can be on that platform now.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Elon's
comedy's legal.
interacting with those accounts. I think Elon tweeted and he said, "I've never played a GTA game, or I stopped playing GTA 5 30 minutes in because they made me kill a police officer." I'm like, that's the lamest tweet you could have ever made, and you've made a lot of bad
I
tweets.
don't. There's no way that's true. That he stopped. He played Cyberpunk. Don't you
Uh
have to
huh.
kill police in that game?
I'm pretty sure your whole thing in that game is like, you know,
Being a criminal.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
Let's not like, think that Elon hasn't committed tons of crimes because
Oh
he
well,
certainly
sure,
has.
sure. Yeah. I mean, it's all just pandering. But
Yeah,
also, like, that's the fun of those games. You know, getting to
exactly.
break the rules.
Exactly. That's
You.
what GTA is about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's so much fun. That's why I download the hot coffee mod for San Andreas because I like breaking the rules, frankly.
Exactly.
And if you don't know what that is, I don't know, Google it. I don't care. Why should I have to explain that to
Not
you?
my problem.
That 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 controversy happened. Well, I was gonna say it happened before I was born, but that's probably did San Andreas come out in the '90s? It was 2000s, right?
No. I think it's 2000s.
Okay, it happened when I was a very young man, where I was not paying attention to what was happening with GTA San Andreas. But yeah, so there's been that controversy, I guess, from red pilled idiots. There, in terms of like stuff from the actual gaming community, I have seen that people are upset that it's coming out in 2025.
Yeah, I was weirded out by that because I'm like, did you not expect that?
Yeah, I guess they expected it next year, but we all saw that pre-alpha footage.
Yeah.
I don't think that turnaround is that fast. And I mean, I guess we're probably gonna get it in like exactly 2 years. If I were to guess,
I mean,
probably
yeah,
gonna
around this
be
time is usually, or at
yeah,
least like October, November is
uh,
the hot spot,
yeah, yeah, right in time for that sweet holiday boost.
which they will take advantage of.
Oh, absolutely. This is not going to be a March release,
No.
but I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't really care. People are upset though. Where it's like,
I
why?
wasn't expecting much. I think that's why I'm happy that this trailer exists because I wasn't expecting a whole story trailer and I wasn't expecting the game to come out anytime soon.
Yeah,
Just like knowing gaming trends for the past 5 or 6 years.
which I have not looked at, like when the first trailer for Red Dead 2 came out, but I feel like it was
Mhm.
probably similar in terms of like that first reveal trailer and then when it eventually came out. Because when that all happened, I had not played the first one, so I didn't really care when Red Dead 2 was announced. Like, oh yeah, that cowboy game that I haven't played is coming out. I'm gonna play Mario Kart now or whatever. So I don't know. I know that I believe it's pretty similar to GTA 5, where that first revealed trailer. Yeah, okay, it was in 2011, and then it came out in 2013. So that's just kind of how Rockstar operates. I think just people are upset because it's been 10 years, which is, you know, fair.
Fair. Yeah.
Fair. I do think that Rockstar should open another studio. It's kind of weird. I mean, I know they do. I think there's like Rockstar Purple and Rockstar Red and Rockstar Blue. I don't know like what each color works on, but it does take a very long time for all of their games to come out. But
But they are bangers.
they're bangers. They're some of the best out there. It's nice that a gaming company is still prioritizing single player experiences,
Hmm.
even though GTA Online is going to be around for another 15 years and GTA 6 before the seventh one comes out. Um, but
I guess that's the other question: is this game launching with GTA Online, or is it going to be the same thing as GTA 5? Because GTA 4 Online was not popular,
no, it
but
was not.
GTA 5 Online was the most popular game on in the world for a
It
while.
is.
So it's like, yeah, do
Yeah,
you release it? I like the way they did it with GTA 5 because it forced people to actually play the story of the game before going online.
that's true. Yeah. And I think Red Dead was similar, where it was single
Hmm.
player first, and then
Yep.
they added Red Dead Online. But again, Red Dead 1 was not as popular as GTA 5.
Right.
I don't think it was monetized the same way, and I don't think
No,
enough
yeah.
people
With
were
shark
buying
cards
it.
now, it's like it's gonna be a huge thing.
Yeah. And here's what I will say that I do kind of appreciate about the GTA monetization, but also it's kind of a double edged sword, where in a lot of online games that have a shop like that, where you can buy whatever you want, the stuff that is bought with like real world money is its own currency, and all of the
Hmm.
best cosmetics or whatever is locked to that separate currency that you have to give real money for. And so, yeah, the only way to get the cool stuff is to pay money for it. Whereas in GTA, you can just spend a lot of time doing heists over and over again or doing
You
whatever.
can. It was fine for a while, but after like a couple of years, it got to the point where everything was so ridiculously expensive
Yeah,
that it incentivized shark cards more than it should have.
absolutely.
Because I
Yes.
remember doing stuff like we did a whole summer where we did GTA and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we came back to it a year later and everything's cost so much money, it wasn't even worth it to do the big heists because it wouldn't even give you a fraction of the way there.
Yeah. And it's just like, I guess the most profitable things were like setting up like businesses and like
Drug running
car,
stuff,
drug running
which is
stuff.
kind of just like mindless grinding when the heists were the most fun thing and they didn't exactly pay the most after all.
No.
And you needed a whole team and you needed to coordinate and stuff, which was fantastic. It's just like it was a little bit too shark card focused near the end.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like, what your main focus, what should pay out the most is the fun stuff.
Right.
That's what you want people to experience. You can tell that that's where they put the most effort, where it's like they
Hmm.
are creating
And
these
you got
crafted
voice
experiences.
actors and like
Yeah,
guests to come in and stuff. Like,
everything's scripted. It's
yeah.
all very deliberate. Whereas like the drug running stuff, it's just in the background. Yeah, they had to get someone to call you on the phone and be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, you want to do this?" But other than that, you know, pretty minimal effort on their end, which is disappointing. But I guess that's the current state of GTA Online, where most people that play it now are on
I mean
role play
that comes
servers.
with a company figuring out that you've just found a money machine
Yeah.
and you have to reprioritize to do certain things.
Yes. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But Rockstar is one of those gaming companies that I want to praise to the heavens because they're kind of like Nintendo in a way,
Mhm.
where they have like an unrivaled library of
Yeah.
like some
They have
of
their
the best
issues, but
games.
the quality is fantastic.
Yes, they make terrible business decisions,
Hmm.
but
Or
man,
good business decisions if you are the business.
yeah, in Nintendo's case, not good business
Not,
decisions.
yeah, just not in general.
Yeah. Rockstar has good business decisions. It's just not consumer focused,
Yes.
which is anything anymore.
Not
That
necessarily.
that's a discussion for another
It's
day.
consumer focused, but not in the way you think it is.
Well, that's true. Um, but yeah, that is the GTA 6 trailer. I was gonna say not a whole lot to talk about, but we talked about it for a while, and it's a
Mhm.
minute and a half of essentially
Oh yeah.
nothing.
I was questioning why they did this now instead of waiting for the Game Awards, but
That's a good point.
seeing the trailer, I understand it now. But I feel like you should have just gave Jeff Keighley the green light finally after years of people wanting that.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But
It was rumored to be at last year's Game Awards,
yeah,
but that didn't end up happening. And at that point, we already knew it was coming.
true.
But
That's the hard part too with like making games because they take so long and somebody's gonna leak something eventually. So it's impossible to keep something under wraps unless it's a new IP that nobody knows about or
right,
anything.
yeah, when it's this highly anticipated, it's
Yeah.
hard
When
for it
it's
not
the
to get
game that
leaked.
got like 80 million like trailer views in 24 hours of releasing a 90-second teaser trailer, it's not gonna work.
Right. Yeah, I think it's on track to be the highest viewed video
Mhm.
in like that time span
Yeah, it's crazy.
of its initial release, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know when the
Eventually,
Game Awards is. I think that's coming up.
I feel like it'd be sometime this month usually.
Yeah, I think it's actually like, oh, it's in 2 days. It's going to
Oh,
be when this podcast comes
Jeff
out.
Keighley hasn't sent out my press kit.
He sent an email.
Oh, did he?
I
I
think
didn't see it.
so. I don't remember if it was. I got an email from the Game Awards that was like, "Hey, do you want to co-stream it?" But we don't do that really.
No, we did it 1 year, or you did it 1 year.
I did it one year and it was fun. That was the Summer Games Fest where they had the Elden Ring trailer.
Oh yeah,
That one, that was kind of crazy. And it was kind of funny because, like, the whole time I was joking, like, okay, this one's going to be Elden Ring, just as a joke because I knew it wasn't coming that year. But then it actually did. And I was like, oh, wait, this is actually Elden Ring. Whoops. Sorry.
oopsie. I'm
But,
excited though. I might have to buy a console, which is gonna pain me, but
well, you got 2 years to think about it.
yeah. I'm probably gonna get an Xbox, but I want an Xbox with a disc drive so I have a DVD player.
Yeah, that's what. That's pretty much what my console is now. It's like every, you know, 2, 3, 4 months, I break it out and play whatever new game just came out. But otherwise, it's just playing DVDs
Yeah.
or watching stuff on it. But yeah, so that'll be fun. I guess we'll cover that when more stuff drops. It's obviously highly anticipated for both of us. Definitely one of my favorite franchises.
A game I'll actually play when it comes out.
Yeah, I know that's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. So, yeah, that was the big thing, I guess. The other exciting thing, this was just announced today, so there's the other, podcast timing. But Fiona and Cake, season 2 just got greenlit.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's officially happening. Have you seen Fiona and Cake yet?
I have.
Okay. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I was just thinking that.
We have not talked about it
I
on the
feel
show.
like usually shows nowadays leave an open-ended piece so that if they do get renewed, they have something to go off of. I feel like that show doesn't.
No, not really.
And that worries me, but at the same time, I feel like I trust the crew.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't think we talked about Fiona and Cake
We
because
did
we
not.
watched it. We staggered it. I watched it a
Yeah.
little bit before you did. I was watching it when it came out, and you watched it a little later because you're rewatching the whole show, right? The whole
Yes.
Adventure Time
Yes.
lexicon,
Which was fantastic.
which I should have done, frankly, because
It
I
helped
a
a
lot
lot.
of a lot of the like, because I'm pretty sure like every single background character in like those first episodes of Fiona and Cake is a reference to a
Yeah,
main
an actual
character
character.
in the Adventure Time show. But I mean, what did you think of the show?
I thought it was really, really good.
I did too.
I think
Yeah.
it was a good natural evolution of the series. And while I do want a new IP,
Yeah.
I felt like that's a non-cash grabby way to continue a series because
Yeah.
Distant Lands was so good that I kind of wanted more. And this
Hmm.
this to me was like another Distant Lands because the season's about as long as a Distant Lands.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like that gave me like some good closure, so I don't know where you go from there.
I don't either. Yeah, it was nice because this is like, I don't know. It's the most in depth we've gotten post Adventure Time finale. Like
Hmm.
the Distant Lands were like little snapshots.
Yeah, besides the Finn and Jake Distant
Well,
Lands, I'd say.
yeah, that one was a good closure one. But then
But
this was more in depth.
what I wanted and what I still want is like I like that they did the Fiona and Cake mini series. I'd like for them to keep the same IP but do a mini series on someone else because the world building is like the best world building on TV
Hmm.
when it comes to cartoons. Like you have so much in that universe and so many actually like genuinely interesting characters. I feel like they should just do mini series and stuff like that without focusing
Yeah.
on one group too long.
Well, I mean, I don't even think you have to throw in that qualifier for cartoons. I would say
No,
it's
yeah,
just
just in general.
in
Yeah.
general, it's like some of the best world building. I mean, it really takes its time too, which
Hmm.
it might turn some people off. Where it's like, it's definitely one of those that grew with its audience, which
Yes.
is great for people like us who grew up watching a show and then, later finished it and it like completely
Well,
changed.
it's perfect from a TV viewer standpoint too because like you can casually watch it and have a good time, but like you
Sure.
can also like look into everything and find things and like
Yeah.
see how good the lore of and the world building is of the show.
I do think that that does make it a little hard for older audiences to get into it
Yes.
because, people will talk about this show. And this is kind of the problem that The Last Airbender has too,
Hmm.
where that first season is kind of like a serial kids show,
Yep.
where each episode is like its own separate thing. They aren't really connected by arcs quite yet. But then once it gets its footing, I mean, Avatar takes the second season to do that. Like that first, I
Adventure
think
Time takes like
Water,
6 seasons, I think.
yeah, it takes a long time for Adventure Time, which I
But
get.
like it does this passive plot,
Yes,
uh, which stuff that I love because you can see pieces moving and it doesn't come out of nowhere.
yeah, and I mean that's like, and the characters are so fun. Like it
Yeah.
isn't like, you know, and I like Bluey, but it isn't like Bluey where everything's static and one dimensional.
Right.
Where everything, like, people change even when it is like these first few seasons. Like there's character stuff happening, and plus whenever Jake is on the screen, it's a joy and a gift because I love Jake. He's my favorite.
The best.
He's the best. He's very quirky, and John DiMaggio is a national treasure.
Real.
But yeah, I think Fiona and Cake. What was interesting was that I was watching it with my girlfriend who had not seen Adventure Time, which probably not a good decision. But she
That's
was
why
the,
That's why we rewatched it because I'm like, all right, I want you to enjoy this.
yeah. Well, the thing is that she had watched maybe the first couple seasons and then
Right.
was
Which I
like,
think is
eh,
most people's experience, and
yeah,
then they have to like go back to it. Because
y-
for me, it's like we lost cable TV when I was like 15 or 16, or I just stopped watching it. So
sure,
all those shows, like regular show and Adventure Time and stuff, like I didn't finish.
right. Yeah, and then we eventually went back and finished both
Yeah.
of those, which yeah. So
One
yeah,
ended a lot more gracefully than the other, but still pretty good
yes,
TV shows.
yes, that is the thing.
I
I
think
would.
regular show took the Adventure Time formula, but they just didn't do it nearly as well.
It's like it's near perfect for a long time,
It is.
and then that last season completely falls on its face.
Fumbled it a little bit.
Rick and Morty is popular. What if we do that?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Why
Something
would
the
you
world
do
doesn't
that?
need is another Rick and Morty or anything near that.
This world's too big for one Rick and Morty, if we're
That's
being
true.
honest.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Adventure Time. Oh yeah, but I will say she did watch Fiona and Cake with me, and she liked it just as much as I did.
Hmm.
And you know, because she watched it, she's now going back and is watching Adventure Time. I think she's like 5 or 6 seasons deep now. So you know, there you go. It stands alone, but I do think you gotta to fully get it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
you gotta watch Adventure Time first. There's definitely it definitely spoils the finale if you
Hmm.
have not seen the finale of Adventure Time. So yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with season two.
I don't know.
Which
Please be good though.
yeah, well, I mean, I didn't think that. Well, I mean, I didn't think that this was gonna be particularly great. I'm like, oh,
I didn't either, and it was.
the Fiona and Cake episodes were like not my favorite
Yeah, exactly.
episodes of Adventure Time. Like, oh, they're doing a whole show of that. I don't know, but like Ice King or Simon was in it. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, interesting. Maybe there's gonna be something there.
It was like not fan servicey at all, which was
No,
like the big concern I was gonna have for that
yeah,
miniseries.
yeah, very surprising,
Yeah,
but I'll take it. It's very good,
exactly. I
very
guess
very
we'll
good.
talk a little bit more about it in our lists. I'm sure. I know I
Oh,
will.
that's true. That's true. I don't know how many TV shows I've seen that came out this year.
I feel like I've probably watched five, maybe.
Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe I have done five. I know I'll have to think about it, but yeah, a couple weeks will be list week. We'll be going through top movies, top video games, and top TV shows of the year. Music is going to be on the main channel, as always.
As
Gonna
always.
gonna wrangle Bab Jab, hopefully.
Yes, sir. It's on his radar. I
It's
just
on
haven't
his
gotten a
radar.
confirmation from him yet.
Okay. Well, all but confirmed officially with the man himself.
Yes,
But
because
yeah,
people only care about Babjab's lists.
yeah, that's true. All of the comments love Bab Jab.
Yeah,
They're always just ranting and
he
raving
only
about
comes
that
on the
guy.
show when it's his albums. He plays the
That's
game
true.
by his rules.
That's true. I mean, there's probably some albums that we've done that
No, we did Joy
he
Division. He didn't like that.
that's true. That's true. But there's some other ones that
Oh
he
yeah.
probably would have liked. I mean, he could have been there for the Sampha one.
Mm. I mean, he already heard it a lot, but I'm sure he would have. You know.
He would have had some insightful
Yeah.
comments. Probably. I don't know.
The videos always get off the rails when he's here. So
That's what I like, though. He has
yes,
a
it's
comedic
great.
energy.
We're old and boring.
And we're just too smart.
We're too smart.
Yeah, we
Too
always have
many
to.
big words.
We have to,
Ooh,
we have to talk about things like music, and he's just there cracking wise,
exactly.
which I always
The
appreciate.
perfect relationship.
It's just a different dynamic, but I do really like it when he's there. So I don't think he'll be here for the podcast. He has not been on the
No,
podcast in a hot minute.
true.
Even though I would love to have him on, as always. But it's fine. It's fine. I won't bother him. He's probably very busy. I don't know what he does.
He sells cheese.
Okay, he's a cheese salesman. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll move on. I only have one other thing to talk about because I did not have a lot of time this week, pulling a lot of 12-hour days, which is against the union laws, but what are you gonna do? So I only had a chance to watch one hit film, and I was like, it would be really funny because Babby's on a David Lynch kick. Wouldn't it be funny if I watched Dune, the David Lynch Dune? Thought that would have been funny, and then I saw the runtime and it was too long. I got home,
Yeah.
I got home from work. I'm like, I don't want to watch 2 hours and 20 minutes of David Lynch's Dune. That's too long right now. I need something short, something easy, and something.
Eraserhead.
No, I've already seen Eraserhead, and
Watch it again.
I'm not going to do that again. I need something quick, easy, and had once been the highest rated thing on Rotten Tomatoes. That's right. I watched Paddington 2.
Let's go.
Full context, I saw Paddington 1 on a car DVD player when I was,
That's the optimal viewing experience.
I
I
would
think.
say so, in my mom's 2007 minivan that we were still
Old Town and
rocking.
Country.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, we got it from when Netflix would still deliver DVDs. We got Paddington 1 on DVD and we watched it in the car once. I might have been for a road trip. I do not remember the context. I just remember that that's how I watched the first one. So, suffice to say, I don't remember anything about Paddington 1, but I decided, hey, Paddington 2 is the most loved movie of all time. It has one of the highest letterboxed things ever, so everyone loves it. He even sat next to the Queen when she
That's my
was
favorite.
still with us.
Yeah, that's my favorite Queen Elizabeth moment.
Yeah, she may or may not have.
Besides dying.
Well, she may or may not have participated in concentration camps and imperialism, but here she is sitting next to a polite bear eating marmalade sandwiches, which is hilarious to me. But is this movie all that it's cracked up to be? I guess.
Yes, please say yes. Oh,
I don't know. I it was fine. Um, Here's what I'll say. I don't get the immense hype for it. It was good, but like it's not anywhere close to a 5-star movie, I don't think. In terms of like the plot, it's sloppy at best. The CGI for the bear did not age very well. It's like 2017 CGI, which means it's like pretty good, but still a little weird in places. Not that like CGI is perfect now, but I mean, 6 years ago it was definitely worse. And yeah, the performances are comically over the top, but this movie made me cry at the end, which the last
no
one to
way.
do that was The Whale. It's not I
Very
don't
similar movie.
very similar movies. Both have to do with an animal, I guess. The Whale doesn't have anything to do with an animal. It's just called The Whale.
Just called The Whale. All the movie is that one picture of Brendan Fraser. So
That's true. I saw that it's like I don't remember if it's getting a Criterion release or if it's getting like the 4K Blu-ray release, but it's just that picture.
yeah,
Because
it's
what else would it
great.
be? It's like Killers of the Flower Moon had the same problem where it was always that picture
Hmm.
of Leonardo DiCaprio at the table. And then they're
Well, that at
like,
least had some cool type on it, and it looked kind of cool. That The Whale's just that picture.
it's
It
that
just looks like
picture.
a screenshot from a trailer.
But here's the funny thing, because there was that picture of Leonardo DiCaprio at the table, and it's like moodily lit, and then it's like we've
Yeah,
released a new shot, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio at the table, but Lily Gladstone is sitting next to him. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? But it is funny that just the two shots that were released were identical, except there was one other person in the second one. But back to Paddington, I guess. Yeah, I will say it was kind of fun because this movie is like the most British thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Where it's kind of fun seeing like, oh, that's like that British guy is in everything. Like the dad from Hot Fuzz.
mm-hmm.
He's a big player in it. Brendan Gleeson, which he's Irish, but
Don't
British.
ever conflate the two.
It's British.
No,
Britain, yeah,
nope,
Britain's
nope.
both. Britain's both. Great
Shouldn't be.
Britain
It
is
shouldn't
is
be.
both islands.
I would never, disservice the Irish by calling them part of Britain.
Well, Northern Ireland.
Still doesn't count.
Okay. I guess everyone in Belfast, I apologize. Yeah. But yeah, he's in it. Hugh Grant is the bad guy, which is kind of funny because he's playing a disgraced actor, which is funny because Hugh Grant is not in anything anymore. Besides this,
Except the best movie ever made.
well, yeah, 6 years ago, I think. And then the only other thing I've seen him in recently is he was in Glass Onion, and he played Daniel Craig's boyfriend, and he was in one shot where like someone goes to Daniel Craig's house and like he's in the bath, and so Hugh Grant answers the door. And it's like, that's Hugh Grant, and then gone for the rest of the movie and for the rest of time, really. I guess
I
he
never
was
saw him again.
yeah, he was in like so many rom-coms in the 90s, and he was in like Notting Hill and Four Weddings and a Funeral. Every British rom-com had Hugh Grant in it. He was the dreamiest white guy I've ever seen. And now he's the quirkiest white guy I've ever seen in Paddington 2. He's like cross-dressing. He's like a master of disguise, which is fun. Which maybe I should talk about the plot before talking about.
There's a plot.
There is a plot, believe it or not. Yes, it starts off, and Paddington is in London. He lives with the family from the first one, which I don't remember anything about. But I guess there was a family in the first one, and he is a. It's an archetype that I enjoy a lot, which is like a protagonist that has a contagious positivity, where he is just so polite and so I don't know, just kind and nice to people, and it's kind of infectious, where like it starts to change other people around him. And so it starts off and it's a fun montage of Paddington going to this antique store, and he's hitching rides on this chick's bicycle, and he's riding with the garbage
Cool like
man.
that.
Yeah, he's cool, and like the whole time he's talking to people, and it's like very specific. Like you can tell that he's like listening to these people. This is like, I don't know if Paddington 2 deserves this kind of breakdown, because it is a kids movie, but it is a thing. It sets him up as a very like likable character, which you should want in a kids movie protagonist, unlike that goddamn nuisance Stuart Little.
True. Like, you can't make a good kids movie if you just want to step on the main character for like the entirety of the film.
Yeah,
Like,
and
something about the way they made his face just makes him so like
he's so
infuriating.
smug. He's a
Yeah.
little arrogant mouse.
It's like, dog, you just took over this house. Like, they can take you back.
And that's the thing too, is that there's a cat that lives there, and the cat
Yeah,
always
it's like
wants to eat
you're
Stuart Little.
occupying the cat space.
Well, absolutely. But they cast Billy Crystal as the cat. Why would you cast Mike Wazowski as the bad guy? I'm rooting
true.
for the cat the whole time to eat that little mouse. So Stuart Little is an example of how not to do this.
Exactly.
But Paddington is perfect. He's always given marmalade sandwiches to people, which is the most British thing that I've ever heard. I knew marmalade was a thing because of a Michael Rosen meme.
Yes.
But I guess it's just orange
Isn't marmalade
juice.
Australian
I think you're thinking
Oh,
of
that's
Marmite.
though? Or Marmite, yes.
Well, Vegemite is a thing too.
Yeah.
I think both of those are Australian. But marmalade is like orange juice and sugar. It's like a jelly, I guess. But it's like orange. I only know that because there is a scene where they make marmalade in jail.
Oh, I've seen that scene actually.
Yeah, that's not where I thought this movie was gonna go. In fact, there's a scene in this movie. I thought they were gonna kill the bear. Like, unironically, there is a scene where there's a train chase, and Paddington is locked in the caboose of a train, and Hugh Grant, in his evil ways, detaches the
Man.
caboose, and the caboose flies off a bridge into the water, and then the mom from the family dives in and saves him, but the door is locked, and like they try to open it, but there's like a crack in the door, and you can just see like Paddington like shakes his head as if to say, "It's okay, I'm gonna die in here. Just save yourself." And then there's just like a moment where they're just like staring at each other, and I like was like, "Are they gonna kill the bear?" Like this, it seems like that they're gonna actually kill the bear in this scene, and it would be the most shocking thing that I
That
had
would be
ever
so
seen.
sick.
That would be, I would give it 5 stars if they murdered a bear. Like
Yeah.
the most likable character in the history of film. They just murder him for
The
no
world isn't
reason.
good, kid.
That
That's
would
the
be so
message.
that would be so brutal. But no, Deus Ex Machina, he is saved.
They should have like killed him off, and then when the queen died, they should have like reincarnated the queen into Paddington.
Oh, I don't know if you want
Like
that.
they're spiritually bonded.
That bond wasn't in place in the
Yeah, I
time.
suppose not.
Although we will see Paddington goes to Peru if
That's not a good idea.
if yeah, if Paddington is bonded with the queen. I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to have Paddington go to Peru.
He just shows up with like 13 gold necklaces.
Yeah, that might not be good. But yeah, they don't kill the bear, unfortunately. I don't know if I want to say unfortunately. That would seems like it might
It
be
would have
a.
been it would have been a first.
It would have been, and it would have been like a. Well, it was a complete tonal shift where it's like, okay, the big bad guy, we're having a chase on a train. I've seen this before. It's gonna follow all the beats. The family's gonna save Paddington, and it's gonna resolve a character arc from earlier in the show, in the movie, where he's like, the family has forgotten me because I'm in jail. Which is, it's a plot where it's Paddington meets the Shawshank Redemption.
He didn't do nothing.
He actually didn't, which is a
Oh,
problem. I don't know if I want
he
to say
should
it's a
do crime.
I would like that.
Make him a complicated, complex character.
He's not really. He's a very kind person. But that's the thing is that, he's able to shape everyone around him into being nice too. Which is his charm, I guess. But yes, he is in jail. Why is he in jail? Well, he's trying to get a pop-up book for his aunt, his mom, I guess. I don't know why he calls her his aunt when it's his mom who plucked him out of a raging river and raised him as her own. But I guess she's his aunt. I don't know what happened to Paddington's mother and father. I might have been in the first one. I don't remember. But he's trying to get this pop-up book for his aunt, and it's a very specific pop-up book. It's like the 12 landmarks of London, and it needs to be this book, but it's very expensive. So he's working odd jobs around town. He's washing windows, he's working at the barber. He gives Albert Einstein a haircut.
That's awesome.
The guy who was there, it was driving me crazy. I'm like, I know I've seen that guy in something, and I looked it up, and he's Albert Einstein in Oppenheimer. I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably what I know him from. But yeah, he gives him a haircut, and he gives him like an inverse mohawk where he shaves the middle on accident. But he's trying to get money for this pop-up book, and then Hugh Grant is like, I know that pop-up book is made by an infamous fortune teller from 100 years ago, and she hid little clues to a fortune. So I'm gonna steal it. And so he steals it, and Paddington's like, oh no, the book. So they go on a little chase, and Hugh Grant is dressed up like a homeless person so that no one will think that it's legendary actor Hugh Grant. I wish that was his name. They should have just made it like it was actually Hugh Grant doing these things, but they didn't.
They should do that more often.
They should. It's like Nick Cage in that Nick Cage
Yeah,
movie, or Jack Black in that Muppets movie.
exact.
I like it when they do that. Although I have not seen the Nick Cage movie. but I do like the premise.
I think the only marketing they do for that is the fact that Nick Cage is just Nick Cage. So
Yeah, and it's was it the unbearable weight of massive talent, but
yeah, I
it's a
think
Nick
Pedro
Cage biopic.
Pascal's in that one.
He is, he is, and I've heard good things about his performance. For what it's worth, I guess. So yeah, Hugh Grant is trying to steal. Or I guess he did steal a pop-up book, and then he disappears in a puff of smoke. And as he disappears, the fuzz roll up, the hot fuzz, if you
The
will.
Hot Fuzz.
The hot fuzz roll up. A bunch of coppers all roll up in their paddy wagons. And is that something that English people say?
I think so.
Paddy wagons. I know that
It sounds like something they'd say.
originally that's a thing from like I think Reconstruction era South, where like that's what the like freed slaves would say whenever like there was going to be like a cop coming or
Mm.
something. It would be like, oh, those are the paddy wagons, because the Irish were like lower class whites, and they would still be like, oh, well, to gain favor with the upper class whites, we're going to call out the people that are lower than us. I think.
Pro tip: never do that.
Never do that. Women support women. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's been a long day. So yeah, he disappears in a puff of smoke. Then the hot fuzz roll up, and they're like, "Paddington, why did you steal from this antique store?" And he's like, "I didn't. The guy disappeared in a puff of smoke." And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, tell it to the judge."
I've heard that one all the time.
Apparently, yeah, that's literally a line. We've heard that one before. I'm like, okay, okay. So let's take a step back. Paddington is arrested for stealing something from the antique store and is taken to trial.
Oh,
They never
like that?
once, immediately, they take him to trial, and he's found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in
Yo,
prison for stealing nothing.
he
He
didn't have
stole
a license.
nothing.
Was it attempted?
No, they got him for stealing the pop-up book, but when they found him, he didn't have the pop-up book. And that was never even once brought up in the trial, that they were like, he stole this pop-up book. But when we found him, he didn't have it. And
I
it's
feel
like
like British courts are really strange in general. So
well, that's true, because everybody was wearing a powdered wig, and it was
yeah,
weird. Where there was like a lady lawyer that had like a bob cut, but she was wearing a powdered wig on top of the bob cut, so you could see like her black hair under it. I'm like, what's even the point of wearing the powdered wig if you're just gonna let your hair show under it? It was very confusing, to say the least. But maybe, they thought around that because the judge was Albert Einstein the whole time.
oh,
And so the judge was like, okay, I'm going to kill this bear because he gave me an inverse mohawk. But I don't really see how that matters because he's wearing a powdered wig all the time, anyways.
that's
So
true.
it doesn't really matter to me. But he gets sentenced to 10 years in jail. And then there's a scene where all of the prisoners hate Paddington the bear. But then he turns them all around when he befriends the cook. His name is Knuckles, played by Brendan Gleeson, who I always love when he shows up in things. One of my favorite actors. And he plays a no nonsense, you never want to talk to Knuckles, he's a real piece of work. And then Paddington's like, I'm going to be his friend. And then they become best of friends when they make marmalade together. And then once they serve marmalade to everybody, then every other prisoner starts, oh, you should make this recipe. And then they have like a restaurant going by the end of the movie. And like he gets the guards to read bedtime stories to everybody. It's just like everybody, it turns into a very delightful place. Very much like the Shawshank Redemption.
That's
Similar
true. No
arcs,
notes.
similar movies, I think.
And then he digs out through the sewer.
He doesn't quite dig out, but
Okay.
they do escape because there's a thing where the other prisoner's like, yeah, your family's going to forget you. They're not going to show up 1 week, and then it'll be 2, and then they won't show up at all. And Paddington's like, okay, I'm going to escape then. But that plot that thing is introduced, but then we never see that happen because Paddington's like, oh no, they'll never forget about me. They're the Browns. They're the best family in all of London. They're like, sure, kid, that's what they all say. But then, we never see them miss a visit day or anything like that. Like the payoff to how that setup. That's a very clear setup towards like they will forget about you. No, they won't. They're
No,
my,
they won't.
they're the best family a little bear could ask for. And then,
No.
oh no, my family didn't show up. I'm devastated. I'm gutted.
I'm going.
That scene never happens, but he's just like, yeah, the Browns forgot about me, I guess, because they showed up one day and off screen. They never even say that, but it's like, I guess we're just supposed to infer that that happened. By the way, the entire time that he's having this realization, or I guess, I don't know, he's having this crisis of faith, I guess you could say, because this is a movie about faith after all.
Of course.
His family are like trying to track down who actually stole the pop-up book, and they're hot on the trail of Hugh Grant. But he escapes with Brendan Gleeson and a couple other people, and they sneak through the entire jail, and they escape, and they're about to go on a water plane, which is sick. But they're like, we're gonna flee the country, Paddington. Do you want to come with us? And Paddington's like, oh no, I don't want to. I need to find my family and to clear my name. And then they're like, all right, kid, you'll never make it in this town, but you're gonna get caught. And Paddington dips anyways. And then they get on a train, and then there's an epic confrontation, and then Paddington dies, almost, because wouldn't you know it, those prisoners. They weren't just getting on a water plane for no reason. It turns out they were getting on a water plane so that they can land it and save Paddington. And the force of the evil prisoners plus the mom was able to crack the lock with brute force underwater, and they save the bear. And it turns
Sheer
out
force of will.
sheer force of will. And Paddington is in a coma for 3 days. That's not a lie. That's true.
How do you keep a bear in a coma?
I don't know. He was just in there. He was just like in his bedroom, I guess. And the funny thing is, and this is like, it's so embarrassing that I cried to this because it's so stupid. But it's like they're all just there when he wakes up. The entire family is just there, and they're like, "Oh, you gave us a real scare, kid." I don't know why I'm doing Australian for an old lady, but like the
All the
grandma,
same.
the grandma's like, "Oh, you gave us a real scare. Oh, you in the coma for 3 days, mate." And Paddington's like, "Oh no, this is horrible.
Oi.
That means it's my aunt's birthday." And my accent's all over the place. Um, my aunt's birthday, and I didn't get you anything. Now it's just Australian for everybody. Oh boy, whatever. He's like, I didn't get my aunt a birthday present. And they're like, don't worry, we're all here. And like he goes downstairs, and all the neighbors are there. And then they're like, oh, we know that you didn't get your aunt a present, but we got her something. And it's like, well, what is it? It's like, well, your aunt always wanted to go to London. And he's like, well, yeah, but she couldn't because she's 100 years old, which I guess is canon that bears can live 100 years old in this
That's
universe.
crazy.
I don't think that's true in real life. I hope
Also,
not.
you're not allowed in England if you're over 100, I guess. Unless
Yeah,
you're the
that
queen.
too.
Oh, I guess she died before that. So.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they killed her before she turned
Yeah, they're
100.
getting too close.
Yeah, turned her into Soylent Green.
The whole like system would just collapse if that happened.
Yeah, that's true. If she turned 100. That's the
No,
one.
you can't do that, Your Majesty.
It's the one thing the system wasn't built for.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like, we got her something special, and it wasn't the pop-up book. And he's like, oh, what on earth could it be? And then who walks in the door if it isn't the aunt? And she's like, oh, Paddington, I love you. You got me the best gift. Nephew, kid, it's your own presents. It's your present is your presents. and then they hug.
Bars.
She never says anything. She just says, "Oh, Paddington," and then they hug, and then the movie is done. There's not even like a second where they like get to talk a little bit. Where like, "Oh, I missed you. You don't know what I've done. I was in jail." They don't even talk about his jail life, which is kind of crazy. If I went to jail, that's all I would be talking about
That's true.
forever. All this podcast would be just jail
Jail
stories.
talk.
Yeah. But yeah, then it just like cuts to credits immediately, and then it does like that classic. It's almost, I guess it was 2010s, where it's like how every kids movie ends, where it's like the after credits, and then there's like a montage where it's like, oh, the three prisoners that Paddington broke out of jail were their sentences were all pardoned, and they opened up a bakery together, and Hugh
Yay.
Grant is in the same jail. But like he finally got his wish of having a one man show, which is why he was trying to find a fortune, but he just does it for all the inmates and they all love him. It's like, okay. And it just keeps going, but we never see Paddington tell his aunt that he was in jail and he went to jail for his aunt, which I think would have been a really powerful and moving scene. Probably, I don't care.
I've been crazy.
Yeah, that never happens. So it's very sloppy. Uh, I get why people like it. It's Paddington as a character is very very good. It's that classic, like I don't want to say like toxic positivity, but it's just like contagious positivity, I guess you should say. I was like racking my brain for like the last couple of days, being like, I know this reminds me of some character, but I can't think about it. I was digging through my letterbox and I couldn't find it.
SpongeBob.
No, not exactly, because a lot of people hate SpongeBob. Nobody
Yeah.
really hates Paddington. Everybody loves Paddington, and
I
he makes
hate
them better.
Paddington.
Well, you have been Paddington's biggest champion, even though
Yeah,
you have
that's
not
true.
seen any of the movies.
I have not seen the film. I've only seen where he sits at the table with the queen.
Well, that's good enough.
And that's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
I got the entire gist of his character within that, like, 15-second exchange.
That's all you need. But yeah, I get it. I get why people like it, but the movie is sloppy at best. I think if we're getting real, if we sit down and really think about this hit film as a film, not better than Citizen Kane. And I feel
I
very
can't believe that's like a question.
I feel very comfortable in that. Um, uh, Not that like Citizen Kane is not one of my favorite movies. My girlfriend gives me shit all the time because like she calls me a film bro, and I tell her that's very derogatory. I don't approve. I don't accept that label.
Only a half truth.
It's a half
You don't
truth.
like a lot of the stuff that the film bros like.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's why I don't like that label, because film bro is very gatekeepy.
Yes, it is. It's
It's
elitist.
it's elitist, where it's like, hey, I like even like, hey, I like Captain America 2. They're like, oh, you like Captain? Have you even seen The Godfather?
Derivative.
Derivative. I bet you haven't even seen The Fugitive starring Harrison Ford. Oh, just a masterclass. Yeah, it's all like that. It's like, oh, you like this pop movie? Oh, well, I bet you haven't even seen Taxi Driver, you imbecile. It's
Better
like,
it's the dudes that like go to a party and like talk to women like that, and it's like
yeah.
really weird.
I mean, they have a whole bit about that in Barbie.
Ah,
You remember that?
yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
It's like, you need to, it's like bring up The Godfather to one of the Kens, and he's like, oh, yeah, let's watch The Godfather, and I'll just
I think
explain
the
to you the
second
whole
one's
plot.
actually better.
Yeah. He's like, let's watch the whole thing and I'll explain the plot while it's happening so you understand. It's like, okay, I feel a little bit called out right there. Not that I do that, but like, yeah, yeah, I see it. I get it. So yeah, that's Paddington. And that's my, I don't even know what I would call me. Like literally all of the labels for people who like movies I hate and they make my skin crawl, like cinephile.
Yeah, that's just weird.
No, no,
I feel
yucky.
like anything should not have like the thing file after it
That's
and
very
like
like,
be
yeah.
something that like you're saying about yourself. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, it's like an
Like
old
even the
timey
term like
thing.
audio file is really weird.
No, I don't like that either.
I don't at all.
I get that like the file thing is like the like Latin
No, yeah,
thing for
but like
love, but
words change meaning over time, and sometimes other words need to change because, you know, some other words develop.
well, it makes me just think of pedophile.
Yeah, because it's, you know, a societal connotation with
Sure.
part of that word.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, I'm a pedophile for movies.
Yeah, or it's like I'm a pedophile for really good audio.
I have the best speakers around. I guess you could call me as a pedophile for audio. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there is a label. I just like I like movies, and that's all that I need. I
Yeah.
don't need a title. Um, I'm not a film bro.
I think if you have a personality, you don't need to attach a label to that kind of
That's
thing.
true. And that's part of it too, is that I think a lot of the like self-identified film bros or hell even cinephiles, I think that that is like kind of dangerous to pigeonhole yourself into one
Yes.
thing. I like movies and I like nothing else. Everything else pales in comparison. It's and that's the thing. I don't like overgeneralizing entire mediums and saying that this medium is better than another. And this
Yeah,
and
that's
this
weird.
this goes for everything because I've seen like hell. I think I even saw like Fantano like in a conversation about like movies was like, well, music is better than movies. It's like I don't like that. Not just because I disagree with that opinion, but like I don't like that concept of saying X is better than Y.
Unless we're talking about like show tunes or like the musical theater.
Yeah, but they're like
The theater it requires a lot. I just don't like it.
there you can say that you don't like it,
No, yeah.
but it's hard to say objectively that movies are better than theater or music is better than theater
No, yeah.
because there are some banger musicals out there. Like you gotta find them. They aren't like if you don't like Hello Dolly or like Phantom of the Opera, then you might need to dig a little deeper, which you might not want to do, which is fair.
Like Phantom of the Opera is the only one that's like passable to me.
That has some good music. My favorite one is Come From Away, a 9/11 musical.
Ooh.
It's very good. um,
So two words I didn't think would go together.
yeah, it's an odd one. It's a musical about I think it's an international flight going out of New York that gets rerouted after 9/11 to like a
Oh
really
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
a
noticed.
really small Canadian village that has
Really
like
weird.
60 people in it and it like doubles
Yeah.
its population. But they can't leave because everything in the surrounding airspace has been like closed. So it's a musical about like this like community coming together and I don't know. It's very good. I saw it live on Broadway, which may influence why I like that musical so much. But I don't really like musicals as a whole. Like I am not really going out of my way to see any sort of theater. But I'm not going to say that it's worse than any other medium because that's hard to
Unless you're
do.
Lin Manuel Miranda, then I'm gonna say you're the worst.
I don't like him as
Doesn't
a
matter what medium.
yeah, I don't know. The thing about Lin Manuel is I think he's a decently talented writer of like music, but I think his thing is kind of the thing like how other people view Bo Burnham, where it's like his fan base is super toxic.
Well, I find him like just Like that, the worst kind of person, like the complete opposite kind of person as me, is that.
Okay.
I just don't like him
Well, that's fair.
or his art.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been a fan of Hamilton. He has a couple songs I'm a fan of in Moana and Encanto. The Bruno song is pretty good. None of the other songs are really anything to write home about
Nobody
in
else talks
Encanto.
about the other songs.
Yeah, because they're not very good. It's just the one song that's pretty good. And then Moana has some pretty good songs. That one's solid. You're Welcome is probably the best song ever made.
That's true. That's because Dwayne Johnson's singing it.
Well, Dwayne Johnson is
What a
one of
guy.
the best musical
Just
performers
one
of all.
upping Vin Diesel like constantly, you know?
It's crazy.
The Vin Diesel song isn't that good.
What Vin Diesel song? Was it
Oh,
Vin Diesel song?
yeah, there is a Vin Diesel song.
Oh well, I need to
He
check
made
this
a
out.
song. It's not what you would think it would sound like. It
Vin.
sounds like One Republic type pop music.
Oh, I'm no longer interested.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I was hoping it was gonna be like a rap verse, like Dwayne Johnson.
No. It's like the most like mall background in a Forever 21 type beat.
Oh, rats.
Yeah,
I think I think what we all really need is Dwayne Johnson to drop a rap album.
absolutely.
His verse in Face Off is legitimately
It's
pretty solid.
it became a meme. It's iconic.
It's iconic for sure.
And he unironically swept the entire song
Oh,
full of
absolutely.
rappers that actually do this as their career. Now, all those rappers on that song, besides Tech Nine, are usually pretty bad.
I don't know if Tech Nine is especially great.
Tech Nine's not great, but he's at least better than the other people on that track. He at least has some notoriety.
Yes, he does have some bangers,
Yes.
but I mean,
Joey Cool is the best rapper name, though. So
that is true. Joey Cool. That guy just saw Joey Badass and was like, "Well, I can't say that around my mom. I'm
can't
gonna,
say that.
I'm gonna make it more family friendly, and I'm gonna rap like Eminem really fast."
Which is what everybody does that thinks they can make rap music.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. Dwayne Johnson
If you're
does
of a
not do
certain
that.
complexion, of course.
Are they all? Tech Nine's not white.
No, but everybody else that does the Eminem style usually is.
Okay, I'm looking at Joey Cool right now, and he does appear to be white. I think. He's maybe a Hispanic. Sorry, Joey Cool. You're
Sorry,
not
Joey
white.
Cool.
King ISO is black too. Everybody on that track is not white. If you think about it, unless you're counting Dwayne Johnson's wax sculpture.
Nah, that wax sculpture couldn't go that hard.
No, that's true.
Doesn't have the drive or the power to keep up.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wish I had that verse memorized still. It's very good.
Well, if he doesn't make anything else, then he solidified his career as like a perfect.
That's true. He dropped
He
one
stepped
verse.
on the mic one time and it was a banger.
Well, I mean, he did sing a whole song in Moana.
Yeah, but that's also a banger.
That's true. That's true. Wow, Dwayne Johnson. He's got something special.
The range on this man.
2 songs. I think he did a song for. He has another. He has some other. He has 4 songs on his Spotify. The other one is "What a Wonderful World" from Journey to the Mysterious Island, which I think is a sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh,
Which is, yes, was I think one of the first 3D movies I had ever seen. But he does a cover of "What a Wonderful World," which is
I'm sure it's good.
probably,
He hasn't let me down so far.
I don't know. It's from 2012, so I don't know. This is not modern Dwayne Johnson we're talking about here, but I think that's all I have to talk about. Paddington 2 was the only thing I watched. I did listened to the Jeanette McCurdy book. I don't really know
Interesting.
what to talk about with that. Isn't it crazy how her mom was abusive?
That's
It's
crazy.
the whole point of the book. Yeah, because Spotify added audiobooks.
They
So
did. Yes.
I listened to that a couple days ago. I think you only get like 16 hours a month or something. So
Oh, really?
I used half of that on the Jeanette McCurdy book one day. So, whoops. I think I'm going to do The Killers of the Flower Moon next. But how long is that? That is 9 hours. Okay, I would be able to make it work. I don't know how I feel about the cover just being Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
It's not the cover of the book. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good. The Jeanette McCurdy book is really good, and she's not super positive on Ariana Grande, which I think some people were upset about. But I mean, if you compare both of their upbringings, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, Ariana Grande is like 17 different races. It's a
oh,
little.
that's too.
She's kind of cheating.
Yeah, but like she was, I think Jeanette was pretty like they were on the show together. Sam and
Yeah.
they had their own show,
Yeah.
both of them, and like Jeanette had like a mom that was like super abusive. I won't go into detail, but let's just say really bad.
I remember when the book came out and people were like, why would she name her book that? I'm like, do you people not know what this book is about?
Yes, and I was expecting the whole thing to be like that tone, but it's a memoir, and for most of her life she had a positive view of her mother. Even after she died, she was like, oh well, she was a good mom. It just kind of like that revisionist, you don't want to think about the
Yeah.
actual truth. So like it wasn't until literally the last chapter where she was like, yeah, these are all the things that my mom did, and like really broke it down in detail. So yeah, her childhood was really rough, and Ariana Grande was born to a rich family in Boca Raton, Florida, and very different. So like yeah, and then Ariana would come to set and be like, "Yeah, I'm performing at Billboard," or like I played charades at Tom Hanks' house, and then Jeanette would like go home and she was like bulimic and was addicted to alcohol, and her mom was a narcissist and physically and mentally and verbally abusive, and it was just she just like was like I did not like Ariana and grew envious. I'm like, that's fair. I get it. I get it. But I think those snippets kind of blew up, or those were
Yeah.
released when the book was coming out, which I'm sure there was a very specific reason for that. But let's not go into marketing. I'm not Don Draper.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
I may work in marketing, but I am not him.
No, no, you're not a madman.
Nope. I just need to pay the bills.
Exactly right. But yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna really talk about it. Um, but I think you should check it out. And by you, I mean the metaphorical you, the audience. I guess if you want to listen to a baby, you can. It doesn't
I
really seem
might.
like it's something that you would listen to.
No, not really, but
And I don't really listen to
it
memoirs either.
interests me.
Yes, I will say, if you want a similar book recommendation, Educated is a very very good book. I had to read it for one of my classes. I think it was like a comp class or something, but legitimately very very good. Very similar book to the Jeanette McCurdy book. Like I didn't know how similar it was going to be. Like the Educated book, I think is about an abusive father, but like they're both Mormon, and there's like that's a big aspect of both of their like childhoods.
Mormon stuff is spicy.
It's wild. It is
Yes.
wild.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, that book especially kind of like opened my eyes where it's like, okay, I knew that like the Mormons were weird,
They
but
are
whoa.
insane.
Whoa.
GTA 7 should be in Utah.
That's true. Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Utah might be the craziest state.
Well, that's true. That's true. You can't even get a coffee in Utah if you're Mormon, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know. I don't know if that one's on Spotify, but it's very good. But that's it. I'm gonna throw it on over to Mabby for his segment.
Um, I listened to one new thing this week. It didn't come out this week. Uh, we're gonna. It's a mood switch, but it's fine because I want to talk about it. I listened to an EP by a pretty unknown 17-year-old.
The Kid Leroy?
No, God, no. You can't make me do that. I had to sit through like two Post Malone songs. That's too much. This artist goes by the name Black Market Cart with fours instead of A's. Very new age and also classy mid 2000s at the same time. Uh, EP is called Today I Laid Down. It's got a fantastic picture of a little orange cat on it. 6 songs, 20 minutes. It is kind of like lo-fi indie shoegaze, which, duh, I'm gonna listen to that. Are you kidding me? And it is phenomenal. Like best EP I've listened to all year. I don't know how you make this at 17 because the level of like technical ability here is crazy when it comes to polishing and actually mixing and mastering. Shoegaze is a hard thing to do well because if you do it wrong, it's gonna feel really shallow and emotionless and dull. But the tones and everything on this thing are fantastic. The influences are definitely all over here, but I mean, for a 17-year-old, I'm not gonna miss I'm not gonna dock points for that because like even just making something like this, I don't care if I can like pick out every single little influence you use to make this. It's still like really, really, really impressive, and genuinely like really moving. But vocals are pretty much one to one Duster style, like buried in the mix, kind of monotone, but like enough to kind of provide a nice chill feeling. Really good acoustic work. There's a lot of xylophone on here, which is great. I don't know. The textures on this thing is like masterful. Like I don't understand how you have this much of a prowess with these things at such a young age. When it comes to like acoustic guitar playing, electric guitar playing, layering these things, putting everything in the mix correctly, plus making like emotive and engaging songs that like genuinely feel really gigantic. There's a lot of shoegaze groups that kind of don't do the emotion side as well as this does, especially with like this little tiny shoegaze revival going on. I feel like when it comes to like music sites and rating things, anything with shoegaze in the title is going to get kind of a good rating nowadays. I'd fall into the same bucket sometimes, although I'm a little bit more selective when it comes to it. There's a couple records this year that were shoegaze, and I wasn't like too crazy on them. Of course, it's going to interest me, but it's not. It's not going to connect to me like a My Bloody Valentine or anything.
Sure.
But this EP kind of connects the emotive side back to that genre, which is what makes the genre, amazing. But really, really, really fantastic. I think 5 out of the 6 songs here are just genuinely fantastic. I mean, I don't know. It's really great. Definitely Duster, Radiohead, My Bloody Valentine type mixture in this. What you'd expect a online 17-year-old to be making in the music realm. with the abundance of music rating sites, and like we talked about earlier, like there isn't like a I don't think there's a film bro equivalent for music. It's the rate your music people. That's the
Sure.
equivalent.
Yeah.
I used to use that site and I stopped using it because it's a toxic cesspool full of elitism and just people one upping each other for no apparent reason.
Yuck.
I like a lot of the same music those people like, but I don't know. It takes all the fun and emotion out of it when someone's constantly like breathing down your neck. I feel the site I use now is a lot more, well, somewhat more open. It still has its, faults when
Sure.
it comes to a lot of different genres, but it's still a lot better. But I feel like you kind of like take everything that those kind of guys like and you put it in an EP, and this is kind of what comes out, but in like a genuine, like very authentic way. So really great. Came out late August. There's a reason why you're gonna start seeing this thing pop up a little bit more. There was a big music YouTuber that did a video on it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. But this, unfortunately, the person who made this record, the 17-year-old, took his own life last week.
Oh,
So that's the reason why this is kind of popping up out of nowhere, which is just awful
yeah.
because, man, the quality of this thing is insane. And I think this is the only real thing he's ever put out. I think he has like a couple of like little remix thingies, but those aren't on Spotify. But man, this is incredible. It's a really unfortunate thing, and it's one of those things that like because of the bad circumstances, it's gotten popularity. I think it deserves popularity. It's just like a very unfortunate circumstance to come into it. And the record takes on a pretty big new form when you know that going into it. So this was literally like a scrolling through album of the year, like looking for new releases this week and seeing this in the popular now section, and then going into a rabbit hole of this little area for a while,
Mm.
which was really interesting and sad and unfortunate, but also like I think people should listen to this because it's fantastic. All the songs on Spotify, the most popular one has 10,000 plays right now, so it's still very, 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 very small.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the new thing I listened to this week, and it has a crazy backstory to it. So
Yeah.
that's what you got to do at this point in the year. I feel like there's not really anything else coming out that interests me at this point. The list is coming along well, but yeah, this kind of blew up my world for a day or two last week. And again, unfortunate circumstances, but the music here really is fantastic. But yeah, it's a weird thing to talk about, but yeah, it was. It's a really fantastic EP. I don't know if I'll talk about it on the main channel or not, but we'll see. But that was the main thing this week. I think everything else I've already listened to. Still jamming the Sampha record a little bit. Not as much as I thought I would be, but that's another example where it's like I don't fall completely in line with everybody else. It's like, I like that record, but it's not, the heights that other people are saying it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've seen a lot of interesting things when it comes to just the music landscape and people's perceptions of things. I think Fantano just gave like this rapper Sexy Red's album an 8, and people are like really not happy with that.
Why?
Um,
I've heard good things about her.
I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
listened to the record. I'm guessing half the people that are mad at him haven't listened to the record either.
Is it because she's a woman?
I think it's because she's a woman making trap music, and that's scary to some people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Twitter's just been a not a good place if you're like a black woman recently because of the GTA trailer and everybody being like over the top racist about that, and this happening at the same time. It's really strange. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I don't either.
But that was happening. There was like a hip hop thread that somebody was like There was like a hot take, and somebody was like, "I would like Billy Woods if he rapped on beat." Um, there's moments a lot throughout the year that I'm reminded that a lot of hip hop audiences don't care about hip hop or know what hip hop even is.
Or stand
Because like
for.
the dude had an MF Doom profile picture and he was saying that Billy Woods doesn't rap on beat. And I'm like, have you listened to MF Doom? Like,
Probably
they're on
not.
beat, they're at a different tempo.
Yeah.
It's a different way of attacking the instrumental. If everybody did the instrumental the same way, everything would sound boring because they would all approach it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There was a couple instances this year, especially with the No Name record too, where it's like white audiences and new hip hop audiences are very fragile and they don't really understand the genre completely. Not saying that I'm the headmaster of the genre by any means, but I feel like with hip hop, you need to do your diligence and kind of know what you're talking about, especially if that's your whole thing and that's the majority of the music you listen to. It's an art form. It's still a new art form. Yeah, it's just frustrating, especially
Yes.
the No Name one. That's the biggest thing this year, where it's like I have the hottest take on that record, and that it is really good, and everybody is very turned off by that thing, because you can make white audiences pretty uncomfortable if you speak plainly and accurately,
Yeah.
which is really funny, because if Billy Woods was more direct in his messaging and storytelling across all of his records, I think he would get the same reception. No Name's also just like all over on Twitter and social media and doesn't know when to, tone it down a little bit. But I also kind of like that. So
Yeah.
there's a place for it.
I think so.
But yeah, just some interesting things happening. I'll be interested to see everybody's year end list this year. There's a lot of weird things happening in the music landscape. It's always interesting when an artist I'm really into is starting to gain more and more popularity and people talk about things more than they did. I mean, even talking about JPEG Mafia as like a leader in hip hop, like, and that a lot of people know him is still a strange thing.
Yeah.
But it's starting to happen with more and more artists I listen to. So I don't know. I think as the internet goes on longer, this more like internet culture around music and stuff is going to become more mainstream. It's just really trippy to think about because none of these artists will work in a mainstream media setting. So I don't know how this landscape's going to like phase, like kind of come out. Because JPEG Mafia will never be on, you know, he'll never be a mainstream artist in the traditional sense, but he's gaining popularity at a rate that seems like he's definitely like people know him.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
interesting.
some of that is that collab with Danny Brown.
Exactly. But Danny Brown isn't even the most popular rapper in the world. He's
Yeah,
also like in that same lane.
that's true. I don't know. I just think that record was big.
It was, yeah. I think that went past the niche nerd hip hop audience on the internet
Yeah.
and kind of went out a little bit more. But I don't know. It's
Well,
interesting. There's a little bit of a shift happening.
yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see.
I don't know. Things have been kind of quiet. I'm waiting for something to come up and
Yeah.
something to
Well, there
shake
was
it
a new
up.
MGMT song this week. That's the other thing that I listened to.
Oh.
I know I was missing one. I made a new playlist. I think that's why, because usually all my new stuff is at the end of my playlist, and these ones are all mixed up. But they released the single "Bubblegum Dog." Great
I
name.
love that.
I like this one more than the first single. Mother Nature was cool. I think they're definitely going back to a more rock centered focus with this album, which I don't hate. It's not like pure psychedelic like Congratulations was or anything. But this one's got the quirk. It's got the MGMT quirk more than Mother Nature does.
Nice.
I mean, it's called Bubblegum Dog. Are you kidding me?
It's like a Gorillaz song.
Exactly. But it's really fun. There's a harpsichord in it. I don't know.
Mm.
It's quirked up. So I'm excited for that record. We'll have to get Babjib on for that one for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
If he doesn't listen to it before we get the chance to, which is
Probably
possible.
will.
But
Yeah, I'm
They record on
excited.
Thursdays, which is tough for new releases.
Yeah, but it's coming out in February.
It is, yeah.
So,
Of the new Smile record next January, so that's coming soon. There's a couple things, but
yeah. Yeah, we got some stuff. I'm
yeah,
excited. I
that's pretty much it. I'm just rambling. This is a rambling podcast. It's
oh,
near the end of the
rambling,
year, so we
absolutely.
kind of just gotta like, it's a little bit looser.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta it's a crazy time for me. I don't know how busy it is in your world.
I am very busy. I had an 8.5 hour straight meeting last week, and
What?
then a 5 hour straight meeting yesterday, and then a 6.5 hour meeting straight this or today.
What in the
So,
world can you be meeting about for 8.5 hours?
a business.
Well, I guess you probably, yeah, probably can't talk too much about it, considering
Exactly.
how in the
How
biz you are.
under wraps I am.
Yeah, everything's so confidential with you.
It is. That's how marketing is.
I know.
Marketing runs the world,
That's true.
and it's not a good thing.
No, no, it's not. Um, yeah, yeah, we'll see next week. I might have some time on my hands. That's just,
Maybe.
we'll see. We'll see. There's some stuff going on that I am going to sort out. But if it's not sorted out, I'm just going to be taking some time off. So
Yes, sir.
that's the
I will
deal.
not.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get paid for it if that makes you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
better.
You should be.
Theoretically, I could just use all my sick days, which I
Yeah,
should
good luck
do.
with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we'll see. I think
Yes, sir.
this week coming up, in terms of new releases, we got the new Miyazaki movie coming out on Friday. Boy and the Heron on December 8th. I'm not sure if I'm going to see that this weekend. I think I'm going to go see The Holdovers again with my girlfriend this time on Friday. So we might see it this weekend, but maybe not. Don't know if I'm going to have enough money to go to the theater twice. But that's a
It
discussion.
do be pricey,
Well, it do be pricey, and I didn't get paid, which is what we're dealing
which is
with.
worse.
Which is what I'm dealing with why I might be taking some time off. As of me recording this, tomorrow morning I'm going to have a fierce conversation with my bosses, give them a real stern talking to, and depending on how that goes, we'll see. But yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of money that I can just toss around right now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I do
You
want
might
to
have a
see
lot
it.
of content. I might have zero because
Okay.
I have to move soon.
That is, yes, that's
So
true.
I am very occupied.
Yeah, yeah. Which yeah, it's good. You don't have to edit this week. I guess we can plug that. Our
Yeah.
our last I don't know if it's gonna be our last reaction of the year.
It
But
probably will.
yeah, I'm not sure how the lists are all gonna
Yeah.
play
We'll
out.
probably do 2 list videos like we usually do.
Okay. One's probably gonna be shorter.
One's going to be a lot shorter.
Yeah. But that's that so next week is going to be pure comedy, Father John Misty. Those videos never do well.
This one might.
It might, I don't know.
I think that's his most popular when it comes to the YouTube consuming realm.
It
If that
could.
makes sense.
I know his most popular is probably his first one.
Yeah.
It's his most straightforward indie
I feel like when it comes
folk
to
record.
reaction content, like the albums that are popular are different than the albums that people actually watch people react to, if that makes sense.
That's true. And I guess that one's just gonna be seeing us get sadder.
I guess, yeah.
Not that the album's a drag, really, but like
It's going to be a very long video.
it is. It's
Like
an hour
whenever I listen to
15.
Father John Misty, I have a lot to say. So
Well, and there's a 13-minute song and a 10-minute song,
yeah.
which the 10-minute song might be my favorite. 13-minute
Mm-hmm.
song I have a lot of thoughts about, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
get to it. um, but yeah, I'm excited for that. That I think in my Spotify Wrapped, 3 out of the 5 songs were off this album.
Oh,
So
bad year.
bad year, really bad year. The other ones were Sufjan songs.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, this year has been a trip. I'm gonna try to shake things up. My New Year's resolution is I'm gonna shake things up.
Spotify rap next year is gonna be like all Megan Trainer.
Mother,
Mother.
it's gonna be Megan Trainor and Doja Cat.
I saw some people like crossing off certain artists when they post their Wrapped. I couldn't tell if it was like Kanye West or just like something even worse. Because I feel like if I had like Mother on my Spotify Wrapped, I would not show anybody.
That's true. I saw a very good YouTuber, Quentin Reviews. He like intentionally sabotaged his Spotify Wrapped,
Ooh.
where he made a playlist of all of the songs that would be like the most embarrassing to be on your Spotify Wrapped, and then for like a month straight, he would just like play that on like another computer for 24 hours a day. So it completely ruined like
Good
his.
strat.
I forgot what his like number one was, but it was like some stupid like country song, I think, and it was very funny. It was very funny. He posted that like with no context, where he just like, "Here's my Spotify Wrapped,"
That's
and then
awesome.
like a couple days later, he's like, "Okay, I intentionally sabotaged it, and this is how I did it." But yeah, very very funny. But
That funny.
very funny. I'm definitely gonna
Forgot
be.
to talk about Peter Griffin Fortnite.
What is there
It's
to
big
say
news.
about Peter Griffin
It's big
Ford?
news.
Why did they make him shredded?
I think because the hitbox would be too weird if it's normal.
Oh, I guess.
I think that's the explanation.
Why don't you just have like the hitbox be normal but have the model be bigger? I
That'd
guess
look
that's
weird.
confusing, but
Yeah.
that happens all the time. It's not like I don't
I
know.
don't know. I feel like when you're Fortnite and you work with that many different like franchises, they have so many rules about how their character is portrayed in the game.
But then why would it be like it's like from one cutaway gag from like an episode that came out 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like why have him be like shredded Peter Griffin? Why isn't it just normal Peter Griffin? I want normal Peter Griffin.
I want normal Peter.
I want to sit at the clam with Peter, Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland.
Hey, Peter.
I want to have a drink with them in Fortnite, and I wanna have some
Chug jugs,
shenanigans.
not beer.
Oh yeah,
Should be
we're
clear
having some jugs,
with the boys.
and then as soon as someone shoots us, we all just start building. We
Yeah.
just build like crazy.
Build a hotel.
Build a hotel, just like that time I built that hotel, and then Jack Nicholson stayed at it. Eh.
I just think it's funny that we got the GTA 6 trailer and Peter Griffin Fortnite in the same week.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Have you seen like the picture for like the new season of Fortnite?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's like Peter Griffin and Solid Snake.
That game's just a marketing ploy, I swear.
It really
It's
is.
not even a game, it's just like a moving billboard.
It is because it's like if that Solid Snake was in the game like 2 years ago, like okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's
It's like now
specifically
they're
to
just
tie
randomly adding
in.
things.
Well, it's to tie in with like the Snake Eater remake
Oh
and
yeah, I suppose.
the remaster of all those 3 games. So it's like, ow,
Waiting
yuck.
for like Wendy to be added or like some mascot.
I'm
I
surprised
feel
that
like
hasn't been
that's the
done.
threshold. That's the next threshold when they run out of pop culture
When
things.
is the Burger King gonna be added?
I mean, it's not far off. I mean, you have artists doing virtual concerts and stuff.
Yeah, so
Eminem too, even.
oh, Eminem's in it, yeah.
Yeah, we got Eminem Fortnite, Peter Griffin Fortnite, and GTA 6 trailer in 1 week.
But when is
That's
Trevor gonna come
that's
to
crazy.
Fortnite?
That would be awesome.
or for real fan service, they would get was it Papa Smoke?
Yeah,
What's the
Papa Smoke,
Papa Smoke? Yeah, I want
Big
him in
Smoke.
Fortnite.
It's Big Smoke. I don't know.
Big Smoke. Which one is the rapper that died?
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. That's what I'm like. I know. I can't say that.
Now, Pop Smoke Fortnite would be way too far.
That would be weird.
That'd be like putting like a Tupac in a game.
They
In
could
Fortnite specifically. I think
Tupac.
Tupac has been in a game.
Yeah, I don't know. Tupac is one thing because he died a long time ago.
That's true. Pop Smoke is a little different.
Pop Smoke. If they put like Juice World
Yeah, that'd
or
be.
Pop Smoke, it would just be like, what are you doing?
Imagine like Peter Griffin shooting Juice World in Fortnite.
It's like that one tweet that's like, what is it? Pop Smoke and Juice World are shooting baskets in heaven.
Oh yeah, the worst tweet ever made.
Yeah, and he's like, "It's cold. I need to get my Dior jacket." And then Juice WRLD's like, "No, all girls are the same." And then they pass the basket to man and girl, and it just happens to be Kobe and Gigi.
Yeah, that's Marvel Brain.
It is. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know if that's real. Like, is that a real tweet or is
I
that
hope
like?
not. It's like I want to think that somebody's so good at that satirical take that they're able to craft something like that, but I
Yeah.
feel like something that deranged has to be genuine from
That's
somebody.
true. That's true. It's so weird. I think the biggest question about that tweet is why is Pop Smoke and Juice WRLD playing hoops in heaven?
Yeah,
Just that doesn't seem like something that would
doesn't
happen.
seem very like yeah. That I feel like that's not the activity that they would, bond over. Maybe it
Yeah.
is. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. The weird thing, and this is maybe the worst thing about this whole tweet, is that it's Kobe and Gigi, but Kobe catches the ball and he says room for one more, as if to
That's
say
true.
Gigi's not going to join.
Yeah.
And not only that, what game can you play with a basketball with three people?
Horse.
I guess you could play horse. But it's like room for one more. It's like, okay, well now it's gonna be 2-on-1, and Gigi's just gonna be sitting off to the side. Even though didn't she
Not
play
fair.
basketball too?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so like why is it hey, could we play? Why is it room for one more? That's the worst thing about the whole tweet.
It's true. The hidden misogyny of that tweet is overbearing.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm nothing if not an ally
Yeah.
for dead women. I've always said that.
Repercussions.
I've always said that. I stand
My
for.
catchphrase.
I only really stand up for dead women, which I think is more noble than standing up for alive women. Because frankly, alive women should be able to stand up for themselves in society.
That could be ableist though.
Well, that's true. What I mean to say is that women have voices, and they
What
should
if they
make.
can't speak though?
They have metaphorical voices. They can make their
Okay.
opinions heard, unlike in
Gotcha.
the past, whereas dead women can't do that because they're dead. So that's where I come in.
I guess that's
I'm here.
I suppose that's true.
Don't worry. I'm here to save all dead women, really stand up for them, and make sure that bad tweets about Kobe and Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke playing hoops in heaven include all of the people in the tweet, including the dead women.
Yes.
That's my job, and I do it with a heavy heart. It weighs heavy on my soul. It's a big responsibility.
Do you think they're gonna add Joe Biden to Fortnite?
I hope so.
I feel like that's a
hope so.
good campaign tactic, since everybody kind of hates him at the moment.
It's like Joe Biden is like, we want you in Fortnite, and he's like, only if you can do Dark Brandon. I found out about that meme, and now it's my
they would do
entire
that, too.
identity.
That is literally their campaigin
I know.
thing right now, which
I
is
know.
awful.
You can get a Dark Brandon mug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
you know.
interesting. I'm just waiting for Fortnite to be like the next marketing step for a ton of different tactics.
What are you waiting for? It's already
I want
here.
the Burger King. Well, yeah, but I want like the Burger King. I want like
You want okay. You want it
I
to be
want,
more overt,
yes.
where it's like, okay, we are.
I
I
want
was
like the
gonna.
Michelin Man.
Now that would be good. I was going to like jokingly say, okay, well, this guy is just like dressed up in full Nike or something, but they literally just did that in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So we're not that far off.
Yeah, that's the sad thing is that like I could see these things happening.
Yeah.
Do
But
you think they could like do like a Paris Climate Accord in Fortnite? It's like a Fortnite concert, but it's like it's just
people,
the climate accords.
people, oh, I was going to have like people build Van Gogh paintings and then
Oh,
people blow it up with rockets or something. I don't know. It's like those climate activists.
yeah.
Yeah, that could be
That'd
interesting.
be awesome. They like hold the G7 summit and then like protesters can be in Fortnite causing havoc
Yeah, and then
outside of the virtual. That's what the metaverse should really be.
that's what it should be. Yeah. And we're
Just make
like,
it Fortnite.
they need to add Greta Thunberg so that she can
Yeah.
snipe Andrew Tate all the way from Turkey or wherever.
Romania.
Romania.
Wherever he's at.
He's around there. Somewhere vaguely Eastern European.
Yes. That's all.
That's
I just
it
had some thoughts I had to get out.
about Fortnite.
Yeah.
Well, it's only fair.
The world's a strange place at the moment, so I'm just trying to embrace it.
Yeah, why not? Add the Jollibee little guy to the.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That's what they need to do. Don't make it like a big mascot. Don't add Ronald McDonald.
No. Do
Don't.
like it's gotta be like a B tier fast food.
We've added Jack from Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
That's what we've
He's
done.
out of the box.
He's out of the box, but he will build a box if someone shoots at him.
Ooh. That's good.
Because that you can do that in the game.
Blow from Progressive. Shake from State Farm even.
What about the little gecko?
Ooh.
What about
He'd be
that?
like the backpack attachment.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What about the Statue of Liberty from the Liberty Mutual Insurance?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. And the dance is just the Liberty jingle.
Liberty. Yeah, what would be I like that would be like the Statue of Liberty from Liberty Mutual, not just
Yeah,
from
not just
real
the
life. Although that could be interesting. What if they just add like real life historical figures?
Ooh.
That could be fun. Like George Washington or I don't know.
I want to play as Brezhnev because his eyebrows are gigantic.
Yeah, that would be funny. I'm trying to think of literally anyone that would be hilarious. It's really hard.
It is.
It's hard to think of anyone that would be funny. Daniel Boone,
Mm,
the great frontiersman. That could be fun.
could be.
I don't know. I'll let you decide. Leave in the comments down below who would be a funny historical figure for them to add.
Montezuma.
Now that would be fun. Have Montezuma snipe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Conquistadores.
Yeah, I'm like, is there a Spanish character that he's gonna snipe Bad Bunny for revenge?
That's it. That's like a Renaissance painting.
That's that's kind of beautiful, actually.
It really is.
Montezuma getting the 300-meter snipe on Bad Bunny in Fortnite. You had to take into account, bullet drop
And
and the
hitting
wind.
the orange justice.
Okay, yeah, Fortnite, please add Montezuma. There's a lot that you can do. Actually, don't. I thought about it for like half a second. I'm like, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, if you think about any of this for more than 2 seconds, it's like, oh.
Come on, Fortnite, add Crazy Horse. You need to promote the new
Nothing bad will
statue.
happen.
What if it's just the head and a finger?
They should add that to the map.
Unfinished Crazy Horse statue.
Yeah.
Add it to the map.
But then they make it like a Fortnite character to just completely like further humiliate the entire idea.
Yeah, it's like that blonde Fortnite guy.
Yeah, Jonesy, I think is his name.
His name is Jonesy.
I think so.
Does he have his own soda? I mean,
No,
come
but they
on.
should add Jones Soda.
Jonesy soda.
Jones
So
Soda,
Fortnite. Fortnite spinoff.
If you're still watching or listening at this point, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I'm having fun.
Me too. That's what it's all about.
That's what this is all about. But yeah, next week gonna talk about The Great Gatsby. Great book.
Ooh.
Love it. The movie's even better. Bye.